Prince G in the building. Today, we're gonna talk about how to actually get rich in your 20s. Whenever I look around me, I'm 25 by the way. Whenever I look around me, all I see is failures. I'll hear from this one guy, oh, hey, bro, catching up. I'm still in college and, I'm about to get my job. I'm like, what? Bro, you're literally 25. We went to school together. I'm making 6 figures monthly. You're studying and you're like, I'm gonna get a job soon. Or you'll have the other guy, he has 0 education, but he did it like the wrong way, where he went to parties, tried to fuck a bunch of girls, and now he has nothing to show for it. He's just a loser. He just does some labor job. So guys, in your 20s, that's the time to actually try to get rich. I've heard from many guys, they'll be like, yo, 20s is for fun, 30s is for getting rich. That could have been true maybe 30 years ago or 20 years ago, but the times have changed. There's so many opportunities right now, so many waves, and I'm gonna talk about this, so stick through the video. So many waves of money that you can actually just ride and get rich by. So not taking advantage of this monumental opportunity that you're presented with right now is reckless. Do you understand? As you can see, for example, I'm here in Panama in my high-rise condo. Life can actually be good. I don't have to wake up and have someone tell me what to do. Every day I just wake up when I feel like it. Sometimes I'll wake up at 10, sometimes I'll wake up at 2, sometimes I'll wake up at 4 p.m. if I feel like it. Does that make sense? So you guys need to put yourself in the position in your 20s, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. Point number 1, you need to reevaluate how much you actually need your college education. Look, I'm all for actually being a high performer. If you're in high school, actually try to get good grades. Actually have an excellent grade statistic. I was actually a fucking A student. I always aced my shit. I actually graduated college with a magna cum laude, which is basically with exceptional ability. That's like the one step below perfect grading. So I was always very smart, always tried very hard. At first, I actually decided not to go to college. And the reason I decided not to go to college is because I looked at the board and I was just like, why would I even be here? I was in Vienna and I was literally studying. First, I studied economics. I quickly saw this bullshit because the economics we were teaching was just, it wasn't real economics. It was just theories and I wasn't learning how to actually make money. So I was like, fuck it. Let me actually study something I'm good at. I'm really good at physics. So I was like, let me just study physics. But then I was in the fucking classroom and the learning was just bad. The professor wasn't really teaching shit. And then I lost a shit ton of time having to go back home, having to do all the commute, reading all this stuff. And then I still had to go train. I had no time to make money. I had no time to train. So I was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not going to university in Vienna. So then a new opportunity presented itself. I went to the United States. There, college actually made sense for me. Why? New country, new culture. I was a student athlete, so I could study and train at the same time, and it was combined. So now I was killing multiple birds with one stone. I was making connections. I was creating US bank accounts. That actually now made sense for me. It actually developed my character. It made me become a better person by going through college. And I was doing math, so it was easy for me. I just aced everything. I was doing math and information system. Did 2 majors. And I did it fast as hell too. Instead of doing 5 years, I did 3 years. Do you see what I'm saying here? It actually worked out for me. You guys need to actually evaluate, how does college make sense for me? What am I getting out of it? And funny enough, the degree isn't all you can get out of college. Because my dad literally told me that. I remember I was talking with my dad and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm never gonna use a math degree. Like, what the fuck? What is this? And he was like, it doesn't matter. Why do you need to actually make use of just your degree? Make use of all the other shit you get there. And I was like, that actually makes sense. I can make connections, I can get bank accounts, learn a new culture, I can train on the new system. That's actually something valuable. So you need to reevaluate, because remember when I, in the beginning of the video, made fun of the guy who told me, oh, I'm just in school and then I'm gonna get a job. That's what you don't want. Just going in there, stalling. You don't really have a plan on what to do. It doesn't really benefit you as such, or really the only benefit you're gonna get out of it is a piece of paper that entitles you to like $2K a month. Bruv, I make that like within half a day. That is not money. $2,000 a month is trash. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things. Even if you compare it to other things that you could achieve. Literally, doing a sport where you're like semi-good is better than making $2K a month. I would rather be top in the country in a sport than make $2,000 a month. $2,000, it doesn't mean anything. If you're making $2,000 a month, you might as well just be like, fuck it, let me just get a good girl, impregnate her, and I'm gonna create super sons. Everything I fucked up with, I'm gonna instill in them from day one so that they become millionaires. You get other pieces of assets. Just relying on $2,000 a month in your life, no, it's trash, bro. So number one, reevaluate how much you need college, because that might be the number one wasting thing you can do. And if you're in the States, you're literally gonna add insane amounts of debt. Now you can't even fucking start a business. Your credit is fucked up if you want money. It's horrible. You don't want that. Number two, now we're getting juicy. Let me explain you something about money. In any time of history, there has always been a money wave. Picture the sea, picture the ocean, and then picture a wave. You could be like on that wave and it just like tilts you up without you even trying that hard. That is what a money wave is. You guys need to learn how to start riding money waves. So what are current money waves? What is a money wave even in that regard nowadays? One money wave is, for example, what I do. I manage models on OnlyFans, technically speaking. What I do now is I provide chatters for the respective agencies, which is basically a sales aspect. I make the sales and get a percentage of that. I'm taking advantage of a market that is on a constant uptrend. I'm gonna blend it in. If you Google the keywords for OnlyFans, you just see a straight line up, literally like a wave, boom. And I'm riding that wave. I'm giving services that are in that industry. Does that make sense? Another thing that is a money wave, social media, going viral on social media, building a personal brand. And I've said this in other videos. You can either build your personal brand or you can help other people also build a personal brand or monetize the personal brand. If you ain't doing that, you're basically dumb. Do you understand that? You need to learn the skill of going viral on social media, getting views on social media. If you can do that, coupled with sales ability, it is impossible to make below $10,000 a month. Another wave, which is a little bit more dangerous, but makes insane amount of money if you understand it, is crypto. I tell all of you, what you should be doing at a young age is have a skill. For example, you learn how to create an OF agency, learn how to create a chatting agency, or you learn how to build a personal brand on social media, for example. You get in your first 10K a month. And by the way, I teach all that. If you want to learn how to do that, go below. You can join my Telegram channel. I recommend joining it. And you can message me on my IG, message me the word cash, and I'll actually teach you how to do it. Like I've taught a bunch of people. I've literally made millionaires. Literally. You'll see it on my IG if you go to the highlights. But the whole point is you need to learn the skill to get to 10K a month. And literally, if you just put in like 3, 4K a month, what I recommend is you take 20% of what you make to live and 80% you invest. If you just take the 80% and you just invest in Bitcoin and ETH, you just dollar cost average it. Even just take Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana, established coins. You would literally in 10 years be rich, just like that. So learning the crypto wave, learning how to invest in crypto, learning how to just invest in general, learning the markets. These are money waves. These are basically the top 3 things that young guys have used in recent years to get rich as fuck. If you're not in these industries, you're running a large risk of going broke. Now, obviously, you can do anything. If you're good at something else, whatever. I mean, but everything kind of always ties into sales. Sales, you need people to reach out to. You get that on social media. And like I said, for example, the OF, that's a big thing that's going on right now. Crypto is a big thing. At the end of the day, it's always like sales, marketing, and investment. That's what you need to be good at. It's just right now, the money wave is concentrated in these areas. So if you aren't good in these areas and you don't excel, you're just losing a shit ton of money that you could potentially make. Do you understand that? So you guys need to learn how to ride money waves. Check out how people are doing in your age bracket. Let's say 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 25-year-olds. How they got rich. Write that down. Do that with like the next 10 people that you see maybe online or whatever. And you will see what I'm saying is absolutely true. And then you can just replicate that. You understand? Now, the third thing is you need to take massive fucking risks when you're young. Look, even I'm starting to understand this. And I don't even have kids at this point. Well, I will have kids very fucking soon. I want to have a lot of kids. But for example, when I was 21, I had the luxury to be reckless. If anything, I'm 25, I still have the luxury to be reckless. What do I mean by this? I can literally fly to a foreign country with almost no money. Just go there because I heard there's someone there that can help me make money. Live on almost nothing with a backpack and just try to get rich. You can't do that when you're 40, bro. Like, you understand it, right? Like, that's not a thing when you're 40. That's a thing when you're younger. Because while you're in your 20s, you can literally afford the luxury of being reckless. You have no responsibilities. You don't even really have a job maybe at this point. Your parents are like, you're getting old. You need to start getting out of the house, you need to start doing stuff. At that age, you're just too stupid to understand the risk of things. So you can just plunge in. Probably you get wrecked. That's the point. You can then start learning from the brutal reality realities, the brutal lessons life will give you. At 21, 22, 23, you can afford to have a shit girlfriend. You know, she's a gold digger or she fucks other dudes, and at some point you realize that she's just a hoe. You just fuck it. I learned. It's all good. If you do that at 40, bro, you're a fucking loser, man. You might marry her. Now you lost like your house. Take massive risks. Now, how can you take risks as a young guy? I'll tell you how I did it, for example. Like I already mentioned, I would just literally travel to random foreign countries just for the chance of meeting someone to get rich or just doing something there. For example, I came to Panama in 2021. I went to Mexico. How many people just literally go to Mexico and just decide, let me just stay here for 2 years and live there? I literally met narcos in the club. I saw things I shouldn't have fucking seen. Do you understand? And I was just like, yeah, fuck it. Let me just try, I guess. I'm here to get rich. You understand? I went to Colombia. And then I just flew to Thailand because a business partner there was gonna invite us. And then I went to Dubai with some friends, just chilling. Flying across the world like zzz. Do you understand? Just taking risks. I took my last money to join paid groups where they said, yo, you're gonna learn how to get rich. I literally took my last money out. It was supposed to be my school money. I don't even know why I did that. Just fuck it, I guess. It's just 3,000. It's just gonna come back somehow. Maybe I'll just like convince my mom to send me another 3,000, I guess. I'll just be like, yo, we needed it for the school, blah, blah. But I'm just like spending it on like paid groups. I mean, I made multiple bags, but it was a massive risk. So these are risks that you can take. Investing in yourself, traveling to places, talking to people. That's not really a risk, but it combines with the things I said before. These are things you need to do. Obviously, starting a new business. Before I had the business, it actually worked out for me. I tried at least 5 to 10 things. Just kept on trying. I tried drop shipping, email marketing, different forms of marketing. You know, it just didn't work. I just kept on trying until something stuck. Literally losing money on the way trying. I lost so much money with dropshipping. It's crazy. Now, the fourth thing is you need to cut out all distractions. What are distractions as a young man? Friends. Guys, in your age group, your friends are your biggest liability. You're gonna have friends who are snakes. You're gonna have friends who do drugs. You're gonna have friends who do crime. You're gonna have friends who are just low IQ. You're gonna have friends, they're not ambitious. There's so much that can go wrong. It's kind of crazy. There's like so many people that you can meet that can just fuck you up. So the best thing really is just to stop associating with these people. Only associate with people who are either above you in level, or let's say they're in the same level as you, kinda, but they're extremely ambitious. They're trying super fucking hard to get rich. That's something that actually works. If they're not lazy and they're actually super ambitious, that is a perfect combination. You can be with those people. Another thing that I talk about all the time is girls. Don't get me wrong. Everyone loves to smash girls, including me. But you need to sometimes just put a limit on it. You know, like when you go, let's say you eat out and you just eat like a fat burger, right? Or pizza. And let's say you're an athlete and you're like, you know, I just can't do this every day. Or you go out, have a fun night, you drink. But then you come home and you realize, you know what? That's not something I do like every day. Maybe like twice a month I'll go out, drink. Or maybe once a week I'll have like a cheat day. But that's just not something you do every fucking day. It's the same with girls. Guys just fucking overdo it. Look, if you were literally to smash one new girl every month, that would be 12 girls a year. You do that for like 5, 6, 7 years, you're almost like 100 girls already. That's like a substantially higher body count than the average guy will ever touch. I heard the average guy fucks like 3 girls in his lifetime. I don't even know how that's possible, but I guess that's how it is. And you don't have to overdo it to still keep the lessons. You know, you can go on dates. Let's say you schedule 1 date a week. You know, every 2 weeks you fuck a girl. Every month you fuck a girl. That's way more than enough. You don't need to like fuck girls every single day. You know that, right? Of course, you can have a rotation that actually works better. Then, you know, every second or third day, you have a girl that you can smash. It's cool, but you don't overdo it. Or let's say you have a girlfriend. You can have a girlfriend, but as soon as she's actually starting to put pressure on you to like not work, hang out with her, do a bunch of bullshit, yeah, that's when you start cutting her off. You just reduce the attention. She doesn't have leverage. What's she gonna do? She's just demanding time. That doesn't mean that you're gonna give it to her. Do you understand? So these are distractions that you need to absolutely cut out in your life. And if you do these things, you're gonna absolutely increase the chances of getting rich as fuck in your 20s. Done.